Hello and welcome. Hope that you are doing okay. If your day's just starting, I hope that your day goes to plan and that you have a good day. You're already halfway through your day. I hope that you first half of your day has gone to plan and the other half goes exactly the way you want it to go. If it is the case that your day is done and it's the end of the day for you, you're just settling into bed. I hope that you're able to join us as we make sense of the day together. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. There are certain times in our mind where we play certain scenarios, and for some they can be quite extreme, for others they maybe not. For certain people, there are times where this really does play itself, and it can be quite disturbing. Disturbing in the sense that it is often triggered by a sense of joy. What do you think? Can't believe this. So you're just gonna let me ask you rather than you just give it to me? What do you mean? I don't think he's gonna be able to read your mind unless you say. Do I need to say anything? He should just get it. He's the one with all the money. I get that. But I don't think money buys you mind reading skills. Oh well. Now we're gonna have to test this out because he's been lucky enough to find himself in a position that he finds himself. Really? How do you mean? Certainly because the parents are rich, ended up in a good school, and then had connections. That's why he's ended up in the position that he's in. Don't you think? That's a bit extreme, isn't it? I'm being serious. It is that because if I was in their position, I guarantee that I would be as successful as they are. Trust me. Okay. So, no credit for the work that they've done then, no? Not at all. Not one piece of credit. Because you know what? I don't think they deserve it. What? So I have to ask because I need a bit of help. No, don't think so. He wants to help me. I think I am doing a favor to actually put his hand in his pocket and help me. You know what? I think I'll just tell him to just do it anyway. If he wants me to say thank you, I'll be like, you're lucky that I'm even accepting this from you. Sure, you're not letting your pride get in the way. Like he's the superhero that needs to come in and rescue me all the time. Well, it's not that much of a big deal. He just needs to hand it over. I deserve it. Because you know what? I said so. A lot of us find ourselves buying such intense scenarios in our head. A lot of us have been lucky enough to be able to develop the skills to understand what it takes to be appreciative of what we've been given and where we haven't been given or haven't had the opportunity or exposure to certain things. We recognize that these have often come from hard work. Fortunately, this is not the case for every one of us because there's such a thing as free beast, pride, ego, and jealousy. And sometimes these tend to get in our way. Sometimes we find ourselves in a position where we are questioning other people's sense of authenticity, not because they've given us a reason to, but because we've felt they are not deserving of the position that they've been able to attain or acquire. We find ourselves consistently putting ourselves in this position where we feel as though the only reason we are there is because we've not had all of the opportunities that those people are exposed to. The financial backing, the parents that are exactly like theirs, exposure to the network that they have. And whilst there is a position for this, and we've got to be careful, but we always want to believe that we could have done it better. Sometimes I worry that these things get us in a position where we create a lot of hatred that puts a lot of pressure on ourselves without us even recognizing what we're doing. Life sometimes sets us back to where it is that we need to retrain and relearn certain things. But unless we fully understand what it is that we are meant to learn, we miss those opportunities. So in this instance, we sometimes ask and put people in positions that when we ask for help, we almost expect a specific outcome. And when we don't get that, there is a side of us that just kind of goes off. It goes off so badly that you almost think, where is that come from? I suppose the thing to consider is that sometimes there's positions we put ourselves in and the outcome we expect of people could be because of where it is that they've arrived at. For example, maybe somebody's just got paid and you are expecting to be helped. Maybe you need a couple of £100 or dollars, or a couple of £1,000 or dollars, whatever it is that you need to be able to solve a specific issue that you've got that you deem a pressing issue because that person's just been paid, or that person has just received a reward, or that person has just got a bonus, or that person has just got a couple of hours spare. You almost feel as though that person should come over and do what you asked them to do because you're, for lack of a better word, embracing them with your presence. They're lucky enough to have you ask them for a favor. And when they say no, the thought of they could have been doing this because maybe they've got a pressing bill that they need to pay. Maybe they've not eaten. Maybe they've not fed their kids. Maybe they've got the rent that needs to be sorted. Maybe they've got a trip that is so pressing because somebody's potentially ill. They haven't spoken to you about this, so you don't have the first idea of what their life's going for, but because they've shown up for you, you almost feel as though, how dare you? How dare you say no? And this takes a turn into an angle where we are like exposed. You expose yourself for who you truly are, the mask you've always worn, to be able to present yourself as this charismatic character that is always understanding and all for people, when in actual fact your trademark so far is one of selfishness, self-indulgence, and pure jealousy that begins to kind of ooze out of you. I only asked for this amount. I only asked you to babysit for a couple of hours. What's the big deal? When do you ever help? When in reality, if you really do think about it, the one person or few people you call on every single time when you're in need is the same again and again and again. And if you were to think about it, how many times have you actually shown up for them? And maybe when you have, there's a tally that almost goes up. I've done it now, so you owe me. I've done it now, so you owe me. Almost as though those things that make me laugh every time, and I just can't get my head around it, is when somebody buys you a cup of coffee. They initiated the idea. You never actually asked for it. I never like, I got this coffee, so you need to get the next one. Or they invite you out for a meal and they're like, oh, I got this meal, so you got to get the next one. But when it's the other way around, you never actually say any of that. Difference is when it comes to your one, it was a genuine appreciation for the time that you've spent together, a genuine thought as to, you're giving me your time. Let's grab some food and actually have a chat. Let's grab some food or a drink and just sit back and just enjoy life as it passes us by. Enjoy the moment. But when the script is flipped the other way around, it becomes more of a transaction. I give you my time because I'm gonna ask for it later. And it becomes transactional, it becomes worthless, it loses that meaning. When friendship is transactional, it means nothing. And this is where sometimes it can be worrying. Jealousy, I worry that it comes from a place of scarcity within us. Because somebody has got something that we haven't got, we believe that because they are within our circle, we are entitled to that. We should have been the one that should have had it, because then they would have come over to us because we are the special ones. When in actual fact, what we need to understand is that this could potentially be a learning process for us. If we like what it is that the other person has, how can we learn to appreciate that person and what it is that they bring to the table? For some people, they're great at communication. For other people, they're great at problem solving. For other people, they're great at just keeping the peace. For some people, they're great at just seeing you. We can't all have the same skill. We can't all have the same ability to be able to process things. We need time, we need patience, and most importantly, we need to be dedicated. Dedicated to ourselves, dedicated to others, dedicated to ourselves in the sense that where we see gaps, we try and reach out to people that can help us fill those gaps. I am lacking in empathy. How do I go about acquiring the skills that would help me to be more empathetic? I get jealous sometimes when I see things and see what people have. Why? Why is it? Is it a case of my experience of growing up have been consistently belittled and made to feel as though I'm worth nothing? And for that reason, rather than try all we can to be appreciative, you instantly have your hairs at the back of your neck standing up when you see somebody that has got more than you, and you're like, oh, this is an uncomfortable feeling because I've been here before. And he's doing that because he wants something from me. She's doing this because she wants something from me. And rather than go, it wasn't them, it was this person 5 years ago, it was this person 20 years ago. This was the reason I found myself in that position. Rather than name it and deal with it, we tie everybody with the same brush. And then that begins to impact in the way that we engage and interact with people moving forward. The downside to this is that it ruins us from the inside. It ruins us because it begins to eat away at us when we see the people that we believe got it better than us. Begins to eat away at us, that envy that you've got inside of you. Why them and not me? Why them and not me? How dare they? Who in the heavens thought this great idea? The other aspect of that is, if you were in that position, your ego would have taken you away to a whole different planet, that you feel that you're better and the people you're currently associating with are not worth your time. And you begin to treat people in a way that is inhumane. So, is it possible that all of this we're doing is a projection of what it is that we could have done, or how we would have treated people? That we feel this almost uncomfortableness, feeling as though they are treating us like this, when in fact they're just being genuine, kind, patient with us. It ruins our relationship. It ruins our relationships, not only with our intimate partners, but also our network, either through family, friends, and the people that we come close to. I call mom's not cold. I only asked her the other day to help out. We didn't ask what was going on for mom. Lucy hasn't been in touch. Yes, I was rude to her because she didn't give me the money, but that's done now. What is it? What was going on for Lucy? How did Lucy take that? That disrespect, that abuse, that eventual realization that everything that you've always done with her was a transaction. That realization and shock that the person they always saw you for is not who you really are. Oh, that realization that every time you don't get your own way, you blow off. And this was that final straw. Because you never apologize. It's always somebody else's fault. We place a chair down, refuse to take accountability, and put somebody else in that chair and assume they are the reason. They are the reason why you felt uncomfortable, that they couldn't spend their time to sit and listen to you. They're the reason why you got angry, because they wouldn't give you that extra change that they've got, even though they've told you they've got a bill to pay. They're the reason why you got upset and literally told them everything unkind about how you feel or felt because they had to run. Accountability and ego sometimes never see eye to eye because to be able to coexist, there needs to be humility. And with humility, do we see accountability? It means that our sense of pride needs to be all brought all the way down. And we need to recognize that it's not always all about us. Whilst we might have difficulties, other people also go through that. People go through challenges. And whilst we may not have been privy to what it is that they're going through, because maybe we've not seen them for a couple of days, not spoken to them for a couple of days, it doesn't mean that their life stopped the minute that they left our sight. And now they've come back, their lives just resumed because it revolved around us. It's not always easy. The most important thing is that it is possible. It's possible because with a sense of recognition that it is okay to feel a certain way when you see something that you're attracted to. My friend's just got a good job. I like that. It's made me feel a certain way that I can't quite explain what it is. I'm happy for them. Rather than me feel envy and rage, how about if I ask what is it that they did? How did they achieve that? And how can I achieve that if that's the route that I'm looking to go down? Because sometimes we're not always even looking for the same things, because it doesn't always work for all of us the same way. We've got different timelines and routes in life, just like a train. We all get onto it. The mindset that we're going to a certain destination. With some of the people we come across, we all drop off at the same destination. For others, they're going further away than we are. Or maybe we're the ones going further away. It would be silly of us to stop off where it is not our stop. Because what then happens is that it takes us a longer time to get to our destination, because you might not be able to catch the train from where you were. You might have to go backwards to catch it from where it all started, to be able to go again. And hopefully you don't get distracted, because if you do, you stop off again and its cycle goes on and on and on. within that train journey, we meet different people, have different aspirations. Some of them great, some of them not so great. Some of them last for a long time, and some of them not so long. But the most important thing is that we appreciate the people, the events, how long they last. Because we might just not get a second shot at this. But if we do enjoy, then we can at least embrace this moment because they are stuck with us. This is the thing, good or bad, they're stuck with us. And when we replay it, it could either bring us loving memories or it could bring us loads of dreads and regrets. Which one would you like yours to be? Let me know in the comment section below. Like what we're all about, please like, subscribe, join our community. Until next time, it has been Kings. Peace. Bye for now.